Right, so one day I'm just searching through Lazada and I found something very interesting. It is the UGreen HI Tune Max 5C. So, what's so good about this thing? Well, first of all, it's from UGreen. If you don't know who is UGreen, UGreen are a company that usually specialize in power banks or in their cables. But this is like one of the first few that they actually done with their headphones. And to take the cake is that the price of this thing is only less than $50 for retail, and if it's on sale you can get as cheap as 29 bucks. So what's so good about this headphone that is at this price range? So first of all, you can see here it has LDAC, and if you don't know what is LDAC, it's just basically a latency mode where it claims on the website it can play as high as 990 kilobits per second of audio, compared to the standard AAC headphones where they only can play up to only 328 kilobits per second. So means the audio should be slightly better than the general headphones. Next, it has the ANC reduction. It claims it can reduce as low as 43 decibels, which is on par to all these headphones that has ANC around this region. What this means that if you're riding your MRT commute or your bus commute, it should reduce the sound of the rumbling of the engine, and it will make your music experience better. Next, it claims that it has a game mode can be as low as 120 low latency. And if you want to know how low it can go, 0 is considered instant, like tap respond to your sound immediately, and it is very rare to get 0. So around 100 to 120 is considered acceptable in the 100 to 120 range for a headphone, especially that is wireless. And also this headphone, it can play up to 90 hours with ANC off and 50 hours with ANC on. And if you want to know what is the actual capacity, is about 600 milliamp hours. And compared to my headphone here, which is the Edifier WB820, this thing has only 400 mAh, which is roughly about playing area time about 50 hours without the ANC on. So you can see that this is a massive battery for the price, which is slightly more cheaper than my Edifier here. And lastly, the next selling point it has the app to check for your battery that can connect to 2 different devices at the same time, equalizer, and you can toggle the ANC and the game mode on and off easily. Yeah, so that's all for the summary of this headphone. Let's try to open it up. Yeah, so here is the headphone, and as usual the front is quite clean. It says the UGreen logo here, HI Tune Max 5C. It has high-res audio and the wireless with adaptive ANC, spatial sound, 75 hours max, and it has only just need 5 minutes to immediately use the headphone. Right, so let's open it up. So underneath this box, it comes with a quick start guide and also the safety guide right here. Next is the cable section here, which has the USB to USB-C, the standard USB-C, and here is the C to C, which is quite cool to see that they provide 2 of it. And other than that, there's nothing else other than the headphone itself, and it is covered quite well with a plastic material. And here it is, you can see this is the headphone. It has relatively soft padding like my Edifier here, which which I have replaced my headphone once, and is about roughly about the same squishiness. And for the build quality, it seems like it's just mainly using plastic and leather here, with a metal trim at the corners, and it's quite rough to adjust compared to my edifier, which have relatively easy to slide because it is mostly plastic compared to the metal and plastic build, but it feels relatively sturdy. If you put side by side, it is rather narrow, and it is comparable to my Soundcore Q20, but you can see the arch here is slightly bigger, so it is good for people who have slightly bigger head, because people who use this Q20i like me struggle to use it because it is quite tight fit. But the extension should not affect that much as it is relatively soft, so hopefully when I start testing it and wearing it, I can use it for long hours. And other than that, we can see on the side here, it has the buttons only on one side apparently. So this is the two mics you can see at the front here, and this is the holes for the ANC mode. And the buttons here has the volume button, the power button, and the ANC button. So it seems that it does not have a dedicated game mode, just like the other headphones that I have, which is quite a shame, but quite expected because they want you to use the UGreen app instead. That's all for the headphone. So the folding mechanism here is okay. It's as small as my Soundcore. As you can see, side by side here, it looks slightly wider for this headphone compared to this, and it seems that the Soundcore make the folding experience better because it feels more sturdy, because the design wise it has more leverage to play with compared to the headphone here, where it is literally just relying on the hinge here, and it feels a little flimsy. But for the price, I can't really complain. So that's all for the unbox. Let's see what the Nash got to say about the user experience.
Okay, so now we are simulating a phone call using the UGreen HI Tune Max 5C. So, what do you think about the mic? Is it good? Is it bad? And now we are comparing with another headphone. So, this is using the Edifier W820 headphone. I don't know whether is it clear or is it not clear, because from my testing the headphone for the UGreen, the mic is on the left side. For this one, I'm not too sure whether it is running on the mic or not. So what do you think about it? And let's move on to the next test.
Yeah, so I have used this headphone for more than a week, and I would say there is a lot more pros than cons for paying such a cheap headphone. So let's get the most obvious thing first out of the way, is that this thing has a very long battery life, because it has, as I said earlier, it has about 600 milliamp hours, and it can last in theory longer than my edifier here right here, who has about 40 hours playtime, when this thing can go up to 60. And I did not manage to like do a full test because it is very long, so I just tested by journeying back and forth about 1 hour each way, and after 5 days this thing have about more than 40%. So it's quite good because after 10 hours it still have more than 50%, so easily can go past the 20 to 30 hours. And mind you that I keep on switching the mode, like the ANC mode, the surround mode. So if you turn off all of it, it will save you a lot of battery life. And also because I also played my music almost 100%, which is not really good for the ear, but yeah, I really enjoy loud music. And the volume is quite decent, especially when you turn on the surround mode. Because when you turn on the surround mode, the sound gets even louder and it emphasizes more on the surrounding than the vocal itself. So it feels like when you are, instead of listening to a headphone, you're actually listening to a speaker where the sound suddenly from in your ear to out further out to your ear, where so that's why when I try to listen to a lot of the songs, the sound emphasis can be a little hit and miss, because sometimes it sounds very nice where you can hear all the different type of guitar, bass and so on, where when they start to strum or they start to do the doof 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 doof, the you can hear the ripple effect, like the vibrato, I think the word, or whatever it is. So you can hear the boom 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 boom, and it's like, ooh, that sounds so good. And that is the one of the gimmick that this thing has that other headphone doesn't have. Yes, it does has hi-fi mode, but the annoying part is you to turn on and off the hi-fi mode. I mean, to turn on the high res. I mean, sorry. If you want to turn on the surround mode and off the surround mode, you have to double click the ANC, which you need to set first in the UGreen app. And the thing is about the UGreen app, the app itself is not in the Play Store. You have to go to the UGreen website to download the App Store. And once you get the App Store, it's pretty much almost the same as most of the headphone app there is in the market. You can move on to select what the ANC can do. So you only can basically do three things: cycle through the ANC mode, off and on, and ambience mode. Second is turning on and off the surround mode, and lastly the game mode, and off and on. The problem with the gaming mode is that you need to turn off the hi-fi mode, which is the LDAC mode, to play the gaming mode. So far, I have tried the gaming mode with and without. You can notice a very, very, very obvious latency issues compared to game and non-game mode. But however, when you turn on the hi-fi mode, when you play the game, actually the latency feels relatively negligible thanks to the LDAC, where the signal transmit is relatively fast, that you don't really notice the lag compared to the when you turn off the latency mode. So that is one thing that I don't like. Second thing that I don't really like is that the fact that whenever you switch on and off your surround mode, which is the surround sound mode, the preset like to switch back to the bass mode for whatever reason. So the first of all, the equalizer of the app has very limited, because you can't really choose much other than like 8 presets there. And usually I would just change to either the classical or the rock mode. But okay, fortunately for this thing, bass mode is not too bad, because it doesn't just completely drown out every other sound other than the bass, which is happened to my song called Q20. But that's the annoying part. So if you, let's say you choose a classic or the electronic or rock mode, it will always switch back to the bass mode setting when you are on and off the surround sound. While on other hand, when you switch to the surround mode, the only thing you can use the preset is the classical, which is the classic, the very first one. But the moment you switch, it will automatically switch back to the default mode, which is quite annoying. And yeah, like I say, and somehow it doesn't help the fact that it is a hit and miss. I try using like watching movies, like listen to music, playing games. Sometimes I turn it on, sometimes I will turn it off because it can be a little too bassy, or you can't really hear it's just very yeah. So next is it's foldable, but I just don't get it. But why do you have a swivel at the bottom here, and yet you only can turn to only one side? Yeah, so that's one nitpicking I had. And when you fold, it's not even symmetrical. So that's another thing, unless you squeeze, I guess. And next is for this headphone itself, because it is very compact, when I go put over my ear, because I have quite a thick neck, it's relatively uncomfortable. So even I try to put the cup downwards here, it is still like trying to choke my ear. So what I always do is I will like always just hold this way to walk around, to put on the table or so on. Or usually I will just do it this way and just dump it into my bag, because inside that thing has no bag for it to keep, no carrying case. So yeah, I just throw it inside and it seems fine. It's pretty strong, so I don't really worry about it breaking apart. But another small thing that needs pick me, because the buttons here, it almost feels the same lah, because the ANC button is all the way here, which has the same the oval pill shape here, and the power button also have here. Yeah, but it has a ridges here, so it's very easy to distinguish the two. But I would prefer that if this thing has a completely different shape, like for example, like my edifier here, where the power button itself is here, which is along with the plus minus here, but the ANC mode is a circular, so it's a very clear cut of the thing. Then lastly, right, the thing that I annoy it the most is the fact that the on and off, right, for whatever reason, it has a very excessively long off button. I don't know why. If I mean, like, I can show you the video here right now. Yeah, as you can see, this is the comparison between my edifier and the UGreen. You can see that turning on is about the same timing, but when you turn it off, it takes a very long time to turn off. I don't understand. It's like maybe like a 4-5 seconds. Yeah, and because of that, I don't know, it's like a bit annoying, because sometimes I don't even know whether this thing's already off or not, because the power button, there's two LEDs right here. One is meant for the power, the other one is to, I guess, to see whether you're pairing or not pairing lah. I don't know why you need two LEDs, but yeah, there's one nitpicking about it. But overall, comfort wise, the sponge is not too bad. It's not as soft as my original edifier before I changed the cup. Now it feels almost the same, but then again, it's 30 bucks. There's nothing much to complain about because of the price. And for a $30 that has high resolution LDAC, is quite a steal, to be honest. If you don't really like care about the small nitpick that I have said earlier about the offing button, the shape of the power ANC, the app, and also the surround mode, I'm pretty sure you will enjoy this headphone very much, because it is almost I would say as good as dedicated, I mean as good as those more expensive headphones, like for example like this Sennheiser Momentum 4 easily can cost you about $200 to $300, and I would say the sound quality is comparable. And I mean like, yeah, but unfortunately, because the more expensive one, their app tend to have more tuning that you can play around, adjust the equalizer to make the sound more nice. But then again, this is not too bad lah, with the wireless high res, and even better that this thing doesn't need headphone jack. It can connect through C to C directly, which is quite a interesting thing, because usually I would think that it will have to connect through the headphone jack. So I yet to try that. Maybe I will try it in the future. But overall, for $30, like I say, it's quite good, to be honest. And I will use this alternately between my UGreen and also my edifier, because my edifier also is roughly about $30, about 30 plus, $40 plus, which this is the 820 W820BT plus. And if I look at my Lazada, it's always on sale. Same goes for this UGreen Max 5. I'm not sure whether it's always on sale for you, but for me it is always on sale, so that's why I decided to do it, because this is probably their first headphone that they ever done, because they are known for more of the power bank and cables. So yeah, that's all from me, and I would rate this out of 10. I would give it about 8.5 out of 10. It's quite good, and that's all for me. I guess maybe if this is well, I guess I'm going to review more headphone. Yeah, adios.